Differentiation part 2. In previous part we discussed about the basic derivatives which used in differentiation. Now we come to the derivatives of standard form of function. Today we discuss about table for derivatives of some standard form. Then we discuss about the product rule. Then third is discuss about the quotient rule, and then we take some examples of this product rule and quotient rule. Product rule and quotient rule is very important in differentiation part because it is used for most of the cases. In most of the cases you use product rule and quotient rule. So basically today our these are the topics for discussion. Now we come to the table of derivatives of some standard form. Here we discuss about the standard form of derivatives which we directly use in the questions, like derivative of x power n. X power n means n is up to infinity. So here derivative of x to the power n is n into x to the power n minus 1. Then derivative of sin x, d by dx is called the derivative. So derivative of sin x is equal to cos x, and derivative of cos x is equal to sin x. Then derivative of tan x, derivative of tan x is equal to sec square x, and derivative of sec x equal to sec x into tan x. Then derivative of cot x, derivative of cot x equal to minus cosec square x, and derivative of cosec x is equal to minus cosec x into cot x. Then derivative of exponential form of the function, ex is called the exponential form of the function. So derivative of e to the power x equal to e to the power x, means there is no change in derivative of e to the power x. Then derivative of log x equals to 1 by x. These are common derivatives of some standard form which we use in the questions in differentiation. So these tables you should not to learn. This table you learn by practice the more and more questions. Always one thing remember, kids, always do the practice in maths. Most practice, most you learn in math. Do not learn like just memorize the questions or memorize the formulas. If you want to memorize the formulas, you get confused because in maths there is so much formula. So by practice the questions you should learn the all formulas. So keep practice in the maths and the formulas automatically you learn. Now we come to the product rule. Product rule basically when two functions are in product form, then how can we find their derivatives? So here we see what is the product rule. Product rule says if u and v are two functions in product form, then dy by dx of uv is equals to u into derivative of v. Here we take one function in constant and one function in derivative form. Then addition, and then we take second function in constant form and first function in derivative form. So this is called the product rule, u into dv by dx plus v into du by dx. Okay, so this product rule we apply in many of the cases when we go further in differentiation. Then now we take one example of this product rule, like find the derivative of sine cube x into cos to the power 5x. Here two functions, sine cube x and cos 5x. So now here these are in product form, so we apply here the product rule. So what product rule says? Take this constant and derivative of this plus take this constant and derivative of this. So here sine cube x into derivative of cos to the power 5x. Now here don't get confused kids, that how we put this 5 out of the bracket. Here any number we can put the 5, this equal to this, there is no change, means cos x whole to the power 5 or cos to the power 5x is same, nothing is different. We should write this in this form also. Okay, now this is constant and derivative of this, so cos to the power 5x and derivative of sine x cube. Here we applied the product rule. Okay, then we solve it. Now derivative of sine x is constant, sine cube x, but what is the derivative of cos x to the power 5? Now here don't get confused kids, here this cos x to the power 5 is in two form, like you see this is x to the power n form and this is cos x. So here two functions in one derivative you get two functions. So first of all we find x to the power n formula. So here if we apply, assume it as x to the power n, then we get 5 into cos to the power 4x. Multiply. Now we find the derivative of cos x. So here we get the minus sin x. Okay, plus same here cos to the power 5x into this 3 sin x, x to the power n form, then this form. So 3 into sine square x into derivative of sine x is cos x. From table you can see it. So now we can solve this for question, and when we simplify it we get the answer like minus 5 into sine to the power 4x into cos to the power 4x plus 3 sine square x into cos to the power 6x. Okay, this is the example of the product rule. Now we come to the quotient rule. Here two functions are given in fraction form. So where we apply the quotient rule, and quotient rule says that if u and v are two functions, then find derivative of y is equal to u upon v. So here we apply the quotient rule. Quotient rule says first you take the denominator as constant and derivative of numerator, then minus numerator constant and derivative of denominator. Here don't get confused about the minus or plus kids, because like divide, you know that if we divide anything it gets short and short. So short means minus, and if we multiply anything it get bigger, it means plus. Okay, so here this is the formula, and upon v square, denominator square. Here one thing more we have to think, that v is not equal to 0. If v is equal to 0, then whole question is equal to 0. Okay, now take one example. Find the derivative of x to the power cube upon sin x. Now it is in quotient form, so we apply the quotient rule. Like sin x we put the constant and derivative of x to the power cube, numerator derivative, minus x to the power cube upon derivative of denominator. Okay, and whole upon sine square x, like here quotient rule v square. Okay, now when we solve it, then we get sine x into, it is in x to the power n form, So 3x square. Okay. And as derivative of x is 1. Okay. So if we think about that in product rule, we take 2 times the derivative. So here if we take 2 times derivative, then derivative of x is 1. So only we get 3x square. Now let's go further. Then minus, now this is constant and derivative of sin x. Derivative of sin x is cos x. You already see in the table. But again I say that please practice more and more questions so that you get the learning of the formulas. Okay. Now when we apply this, we solve this, we get this answer. 3x square into sin x minus x cube cos x upon sin square x. Okay, now take some examples more. Like this is example of product rule. Find the derivative e to the power x into sin x. Here we apply the product rule. Then we get this is constant and derivative of sin x plus this is now this constant and derivative of ex. So when we solve it, ex is constant, here we take, so it is ex, and derivative of sin x derivative is cos x, plus sin x here we take constant and derivative of ex is ex. Okay. So after we solve this, we get e to the power x into cos x plus e to the power x into sin x. Okay. So here we take e to the power x common. So we get e to the power x into cos x plus sin x. This is our answer. Okay. Now take one more example. This is example of quotient rule. That find the derivative of e to the power x upon cos x. Here again we apply the quotient rule, so denominator take as constant and derivative of numerator minus, now numerator we take constant and denominator derivative of denominator upon cos square x, square of denominator. So when we solve this, we get cos x into derivative of ex is ex minus ex into derivative of cos x is minus sin x upon cos square x, and we take here ex as common, so we get e to the power x into cos x plus sin x upon cos square x. This is our answer. Get confused that like cos x is the function and we take it as constant because this is the formula. So formulas are made for solve the problems. So this is the formula. So that's why we assume this as constant. Okay. So thank you for today watching this video, and I think you should learn from this video about differentiation. In next part we come to the chain rule and some other functions also in the differentiation. So kids, again I am saying in the end that keep more practice and more practice in math. Do not learn the math. Do the math and give the time to the math. Math is very easy and you should get full marks in the math. So practice, and then we meet in the next part. Okay. Thank you.